In the serene quiet of the butterfly estate, Kageya Ubuyashiki, the revered leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, sat motionless, his expression one of deep contemplation. The room around him, adorned with ancient scrolls and delicate floral arrangements, had the tranquility of a sanctuary untouched by the turmoil of the outside world. Yet, within Kageya's mind, a storm raged, a vision that had shaken him truly and deeply to his core. His eyes, usually filled with profound calm, now flickered with urgency as he gazed into the candle's flame before him, watching the light dance and twist as if mirroring the chaos in his thoughts. With every flicker, his vision replayed, a world ensnared by darkness, its fate hanging by a thread. The source of this malevolence is clear. Muzan Kibutsuji, the first and most powerful of all demons, whose existence threatened not only the land of Japan, but of the entire world. But in his vision there was also hope. Kageya had also seen more than just the peril that lay ahead. He'd seen a possibility of salvation from beyond his own world. His foresight, a gift that had guided the Demon Slayer Corps through countless trials, had shown him a galaxy far removed from their own, whose warriors wielded not swords, but the energy of the cosmos itself. Kageya's heart raced as he recalled the figure at the center of his vision, a young man clad in black, wielding a pure blade of light, a sword that hummed with the power of the stars. This was no ordinary warrior, but one whose potential was unbound by the universe itself. Grasping the gravity of what he had seen, Kageya summoned the most trusted retainers, the Hashiras, elite demon slayers, each unrivaled in their skill and dedication. As they entered, the atmosphere thickens, each sensing the unusual tension that gripped their leader. "Thank you for coming so quickly," Kageya began, his voice steady despite the turmoil within. "I have concerns about the very fate of our world. Muzan's power grows each day, and I fear our current methods will not be enough to stop him. But there is a warrior from another world, one whose abilities are unlike anything we have ever known." The Hashiras exchanged glances, their expressions ranging from skeptical to intrigued. Kageya continues, "This warrior comes from a place far removed from our own. He must be brought here and trained in our ways." Sekanji Orokudaki, the water Hashira, is the first to speak. "Lord Ubuyashiki, how do you propose we bring this warrior to our world?" Kageya closes his eyes, focusing on the ember of connections that his foresight had provided. "There's a way through the veils of our separate worlds." Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Anakin had been trained by the Hashiras? Well, if so, then today you are in for an absolute bantatacular treat, because that's exactly what we'll be exploring in today's video. So settle in with your nice cup of Bantha brew alongside your meal of Bantha stew, because this one is going to be fun. In addition, if you like what you see, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel, as every little bit of support helps to continue to make this content for you. Now, after further ado, let's get right into today's video. What if Anakin was trained by the Hashiras? In the arid, sun-beaten streets of Mos Espa, Anakin Skywalker is lost in the whirl of his daydreams, visions of freedom and peace for all slaves like himself circulating through his young mind. Despite the oppressive heat and the gritty work at Watto's junk shop, Anakin's spirit remains unbroken, fueled by a silent promise to change his stars one day. Today, Anakin was knee-deep in scrap metal, tinkering in the innards of his beloved yet battered pod racer, hoping to scrape it back to racing condition. His hands, though small, are skilled, moving with a precision that belied his age. Nearby, the unfinished C-3PO lay sprawled across a workbench, a testament to the boy's mechanical genius which stretched far beyond his own mind. His concentration was suddenly shattered by the arrival of three robed figures, their attire rich and unlike anything ever seen in the Outer Rim. They strode into Watto's shop with an air of purpose that drew curious stares from locals. Anakin wipes his hands on his tunic, eyeing the strangers with a mix of intrigue and confusion. Watto fluttered anxiously at the counter, addressing the newcomers with his typical bluster. "Eh, what do you want? This ain't charity, it's a business." Shinjiro Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, steps forward, his stance bold and his expression unwavering. "We seek the boy who lives here and works here. We need to take him with us. He's a key to a mission that spans beyond your little mind," he declares, his voice resonating with a sincerity that borders on solemnity. Watto scoffs, eyeing the swords at their sides skeptically. What, you some kind of Jedi wannabes? You think you can just waltz in here and take what you want? His eyes narrow greedily as Sekanji Urokodaki, another one of the robed figures, places a hefty bag of gold and silver on the counter. For this boy, we offer this payment. Enough to secure his release, surely. Bewildered, yet enticed by the fortune before him, Watto agrees quickly, the lure of wealth overcoming any fleeting concern for Anakin. Urokodaki turns to the boy, his gaze softening. You are Anakin Skywalker, correct? I am Sekanji Urokodaki, one of the Hashira. We believe you have potential that could help not just save our world, but possibly yours too, from a fate graver than you can imagine. Anakin, still processing the sudden turn of events, feels a mixture of fear and excitement in his veins. What? He stammers. I don't understand. Jigoro Kuwajima, the third figure, reassures him. Your role is crucial, boy. Your latent abilities are exceptional, and do not worry. We have arranged for your mother's freedom as part of our agreement. The revelation that his mother would be freed as well overwhelms Anakin with a rush of emotions. This gesture of goodwill cements his trust in these mysterious warriors. With a last look at the only home he had ever known, Anakin follows the Hashira, stepping into a journey that promised to unveil his true destiny, and perhaps lead to the fulfillment of his deepest wishes. As they leave the shop, the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the Tatooine sands. This was the end of Anakin's old life, and the beginning of a new chapter. As Anakin Skywalker steps through a shimmering arc portal, the landscape around him shifts dramatically, the dry, sandy vistas of Tatooine giving way to the lush, verdant countryside of Taisho-era Japan. He finds himself at the heart of the Obi-Wan mansion, the traditional architecture starkly different from anything he had seen in his galaxy. The air was filled with the scent of cherry blossoms and the subtle hint of incense, a peaceful atmosphere that contrasted sharply with the life that he had known. Led by a member of the Demon Slayer Corps, Anakin is taken through the ornate hallways of the mansion, each step deepening his sense of having crossed into a world utterly alien, yet strangely welcoming. He's brought into a spacious room where he encounters a scene that tugs at his heartstrings. A young man, no older than 16, appears gravely ill and is being tended to by a woman whose gentle care spoke volumes to their bond. This, he learns, was Kaguya Ubuyashiki, the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, and his devoted wife. Kaguya, with a serene smile that belied his frail condition, welcomes Anakin warmly. Please, sit. He gestures to a cushion beside him, offering a spread of traditional Japanese cuisine, which Anakin accepts, albeit with curiosity tinged in caution, unaccustomed to such fare. As they eat, Kaguya shares the grave situation that had compelled him to reach across worlds for help. Our land is besieged by demons, led by Muzan Kibutsuji, a being whose malevolence knows no bounds. He seeks only to overrun Japan and all other forms of life, wherever they may exist. Anakin listens, his earlier apprehensions about the portal and its implications momentarily forgotten, replaced by growing resolve. The plight Kaguya describes echoes the tyranny that he had fought against in his own universe, the tyranny that he, in another world, had enforced under the guise of Darth Vader. Here, however, was a chance for him to continue moving forward with his life and never have to worry about that. To apply his strengths for a noble cause. We need someone with your unique capabilities. Kaguya continues. You could be instrumental in our fight against Muzan, and in turn, we offer to train you in the ways of the Demon Slayer Corps. This offer struck a chord in Anakin. Here was an opportunity for him to rebuild, to contribute to a world where cooperation and peace is possible. The ideas of Kaguya speaks of mirrored dreams that Anakin had harbored as a boy on Tatooine. The dreams of freeing slaves, of creating a universe where everybody helped one another. Anakin's decision is made. I'll join you, he states, his voice firm with newfound purpose. I want to help do something better. I want to help better the world, the universe. I want to fight for peace, he says. Kaguya nods, a look of relief and gratitude crossing his pale features. Then let us begin, Anakin Skywalker. Your training starts tomorrow at dawn. Together, we will strive to forge a future free from the shadow of Muzan." That night, as Anakin retires to the quarters that were provided for him, he reflects on the journey that had brought him here. The stars might be different in the sky, but the fight was the same. As the moon cast its serene light over the land, Anakin feels a peace that he hadn't known in years. Tomorrow he would start anew, not as a Sith, or a Jedi, or a slave, but as a demon slayer, dedicated to protecting those who could not protect themselves. This turning point is not just a change in location or allegiance, but a profound shift in his entire life's trajectory. As Anakin dives deeper into his training under the watchful eye of Sekanji Orokadaki, the quiet, reflective waters of the training grounds become a crucible for his transformation. Gyu Tomioka, Sekanji's stoic yet skilled apprentice, takes Anakin under his wing, the pair forging a bond in the heat of the relentless practice and under mutual respect. Their training sessions are rigorous. Anakin, adapting quickly to the water-breathing style, shows a remarkable aptitude for the fluid, precise movements required. Gyu, 4 years Anakin's senior, shares not only techniques but also harsh lessons learned from his own experiences, including the painful loss of his friend Sabito. The camaraderie deepens in their resolve, preparing Anakin for the looming challenge of the final selection, an initiation trial that promises to test all that he had learned. During this period, Kagaya Ubiyashiki takes a special interest in Anakin's development, recognizing the unique blend of Anakin's force sensitivity along with the corporeal demands of Demon Slayer training. Kagaya helps him unlock further layers of his potential. This leads to extraordinary enhancements in Anakin's physical abilities, allowing him to tap into superhuman speed and heightened precognitive senses, akin to those he utilized as a Jedi but sharpened by his new context. When the day of the final selection arrives, Anakin is not just prepared, he's transformed. The ordeal pits him against a horde of demons under the cover of relentless night that tested every fiber of his being. Yet Anakin's performance is nothing short of exemplary. With Gyu at his side, he navigates the lethal maze, his sword an extension of his will, cleaving through demonic foes with a grace and ferocity that belied his newcomer's status. His mastery of the water-breathing style, combined with his innate force abilities, allow him to protect not only himself, but his fellow Demon Slayer candidates, ensuring that many lives are saved that night. In the years that follow, Anakin's skills are honed to near perfection as he trains along the Hashira. Each new breathing style has adopted him to become a testament to his versatility and deepening connection to his new path. Despite his growing reputation and prowess, Anakin remains aware of his ultimate goal. His arrangement with Kagaya is clear. He would not stay in this world forever. His galaxy still needed him, a destiny that was unwritten and that called him back across the stars. Yet, as Anakin stands with the Hashira, gazing out over the lush landscape that had become his battlefield and sanctuary, he feels a profound connection to this world too. It's a connection forged not just by battle, but in the shared commitment to protect and heal. For now, he was where he needed to be, but the future held more tests, more battles, and perhaps even more worlds to save. After his training, 8 years had woven deep lines of resolve into Anakin Skywalker's features. Now, 17, he was no longer a boy who had stepped through a portal from Tatooine into the tumultuous world of Taisho-era Japan. He had become a formidable warrior, a demon slayer of renowned skill who had mastered the art of his sword alongside 5 unique breathing styles that mirrored the complexity of his own spirit. His feats in battle against the demonic forces had spread far and wide, earning him respect and, inadvertently, unwanted attention. Muzan Kibutsuju, the malevolent demon king whose existence threatened all, had taken notice of Anakin's prowess. Through one of his many minions, Muzan extends a dark offer to Anakin. Join the demons and wield extraordinary powers to rule over both worlds. The proposal came at a time when Anakin had witnessed the unspeakable horrors and carnage wrought by Muzan's demons, villages laid to waste, families torn apart. The offer only fueled his disdain for the Demon King and solidified his resolve to put an end to Muzan's reign. Anakin's years in this world had also been marked by deep personal connections. He had forged a strong bond with Tanjiro Kamado, a fellow demon slayer whose skill with the blade rivaled even his own. The two young warriors, though vastly different backgrounds, found common ground in their unwavering commitment to eradicate the demonic threat. Kyujuro Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, had become another close companion and mentor, teaching Anakin the value of passion and determination in protecting others. However, Rengoku's tragic death aboard the Mugen train had left a deep scar on Anakin, igniting a fierce anger in him and shifting his focus from defensive tactics to an aggressive pursuit of Muzan. Leveraging his advanced precognitive abilities far surpassing even Kagea's foresight, Anakin begins to anticipate Muzan's movements and strategies. His visions lead him to uncover that the secret to Muzan's destruction might lie in the mythical blue spider lilies, which were rumored to grant immunity to sunlight, a weakness of all demons, including Muzan. Determined to seize this opportunity, Anakin rallies the support of his closest allies. Jiu Tomioka, Obani Yuguro, Sanemi Shinazugawa, and Muichiro Tokito, each a Hashira of great repute, agreed to join him in his quest. Alongside Tanjiro and his friends Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Genya, they find a formidable force. Their journey leads them to the grave of Uta, where the elusive blue spider lilies were believed to be hidden. With the lilies at hand, the group was caught by surprise when the ground underneath them opened wide. Anakin had already faced the experience of traversing through a portal, but this was different. This setting was grim, dark, and, as all of his fellow demon slayers and him knew, they fell into the abyss of Muzan's lair, a place shrouded in darkness and twisted by space-bending powers. The Infinity Castle loomed around them. The dimly lit corridors of the Infinity Castle, a labyrinthian structure twisted by Muzan's dark powers, echo with the sounds of battle as Anakin Skywalker and his allies from the Demon Slayer Corps breach its gates. Holding the precious blue spider lily, Anakin leads the charge, a beacon of hope against the nightmarish stronghold. As they penetrate deeper into the heart of the castle, Muzan himself appears, his form shifting fluidly between the shadows, his eyes glinting with malevolent intelligence. "Impressive, Skywalker." Muzan's voice slithers through the air, cold and calculating. "Your foresight brings you here, clutching victory in your hands. Join me, and we can rule this world together, unchallenged and revered." Anakin, surrounded by the eerie glow of the castle's unnatural light, holds his ground firmly. "I didn't come here to join you," he replies, his voice steady despite the pulsing adrenaline. "I came here to end your reign of terror." With a dismissive sneer, Muzan unleashes his demonic minions, a horde of nightmarish creatures that descends upon Anakin's allies. The battle erupts into chaos, with each member of the Demon Slayer Corps defending against the onslaught, their swords singing through the air. Isolated from his friends, Anakin faces Muzan alone. The Demon King is a blur of motion, his attacks almost a whisper in the wind. Anakin taps into the Force, his body moving with supernatural speed, a dance of light and shadows. He parries, dodges, and finally his blade finds its mark, slicing through Muzan's neck. But to Anakin's dismay, the demon's head is reattached, and his body regenerates with horrifying speed. Muzan laughs, a cold sound that chills the bone, and with a swift movement of his biokinetic powers, he pins Anakin to the ground. The Demon King looms over him, reaching for the blue spider lily, his fingers inches away from seizing the flower. Realizing that the traditional tactics would not suffice, Anakin closes his eyes and reaches a deep sense within him, tapping into the raw, unbridled power of the Force. The air around him crackles and roars as he summons a force storm, the sheer power creating a whirlwind that ravages the interior of the Infinity Castle. Muzan is thrown backwards, his form distorted by this tempest's fury. Seizing the moment, Anakin sprang to his feet and invokes his newly mastered sand breathing. Form 1, Sand Attack. He loves sand. From the ground of the castle, he manipulates the sand and dust, swirling it into a blinding storm that targets Muzan. The grains whirl into Muzan's eyes, and under his clothes, the Demon King howling in frustration and pain, cursing as the tiny particles invades every crevice. "Sand! It's getting everywhere!" Muzan cries out, his concentration breaking as he tries futilely to clear the irritants that assault him from every single direction. As the tempest of force and sand was raging around him, Anakin Skywalker executes his plan with the precision and clarity that he had honed over years of relentless training and battles. The sandstorm, now reaching almost biblical proportions, engulfs not only Muzan but his legion of demonic allies, effectively stalling their advance and blinding them to the movements of the Demon Slayer Corps. Within this chaos, Tenjiro Komodo, Anakin's close friend, seizes the moment. He moves in with stealth and swiftness of a seasoned slayer, navigating through the whirlwind of sands to confront Nakame, whose biokinetic abilities sustained the structure of the Infinity Castle. With a well-placed strike of his blade, Tenjiro severs Nakame's connection to the castle. As she falls, the illusionary fortress that had been the seat of Muzan's power begins to dissolve into nothingness, its walls and floors crumbling into spectral dust. Muzan, sensing his stronghold's collapse, roars in frustration and fear, his form barely visible through the swirling sands. He charges towards Anakin, driven by a primal fury and the desperate need to claim the blue spider lilies, the key to his invincibility against the sun. But Anakin, standing calm and resolute amidst the storm, smiles and lifted the delicate flowers high for Muzan to see. As the Demon King reaches him, Anakin lets the petals of the blue spider lilies flutter from his hands, turning them to dust in the sand-laden air. The symbolic destruction of the lilies marks the shattering of Muzan's ambitions. Anakin then quickly withdraws the sandstorm, stepping aside to reveal the harsh light of the midday sun. Muzan, blinded by the sudden exposure and disoriented without his castle to shield him, found himself caught directly under the sun's scorching rays. His skin begins to burn and crack, the sunlight eradicating his demonic form with unrelenting fury. Muzan's final cries echo hollowly as he disintegrates, his ashes mingling with the sands that seal his fate. The immediate aftermath of the battle sees the Demon Slayer Corps and their allies emerging from that settling dust, weary but victorious. The destruction of Muzan marked the end of a long and bloody chapter in the world's history. Villages and towns could now sleep a little easier at night, knowing that the terror that had haunted their lives was gone forever. Anakin stands among his friends, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. He had come into this world a stranger, but now he was a brother in arms, a hero who had helped save not just one, but 2 universes from tyranny. As he looked around at the faces of those he had fought alongside, Anakin realized that his victory was not just his own, but a testament to the power of unity and courage. In the days that follow, Anakin works within the Corps to rebuild what had been lost, his thoughts drifting back to his own galaxy far away. He knew that one day soon he would return and continue fighting the darkness there, but for now he savored the peace that they had all earned, ready to support the rebuilding process and to train the next generation of demon slayers just as he had been trained. Under the clear blue sky, free from the shadow of the Infinity Castle, Anakin, Tenjiro, and their friends share stories and laughter, their bonds strengthened by the trials that they had overcome. The world was not perfect, nor would it ever be, but it was their world, and they would protect it, whatever may come its way. As the last remnants of dusk fall over Japan, Kagaya Uben-Yashiki gathers the members of the Demon Slayer Corps in the tranquil gardens of his estate. The air is filled with a gentle coolness, soothing the balm after the intense heat of battle. The Corps, weary yet elated, stood before Kagaya, who, despite his frail health, radiated a profound sense of peace and gratitude. "Today, we have witnessed the culmination of great courage and relentless determination," Kagaya began, his voice firm yet imbued with emotion. "Thanks to each of you, especially to Anakin Skywalker, our friend from worlds away. Our planet breathes easier tonight. Muzan's reign of terror has ended." The Corps erupts in quiet cheers, their respect for Anakin palpable as they clap him on the back and offer their heartfelt thanks. Kagaya then presented Anakin with the official Hashiri Haori, marking him as an honorary member of their esteemed ranks. Your bravery transcends worlds. Kagea continued, draping the garment over Anakin's shoulders. You are, and forever will be, a Hashira in our hearts. With his mission accomplished and the bonds of brotherhood firmly established, Anakin knew that it was time to return to his own galaxy, to his own destiny. He bids farewell to his comrades, each goodbye tinged with the promise of enduring friendship. Returning to Tatooine is a surreal experience. The familiar landscape of the sand dunes and twin suns bring back a flood of memories. As he approaches the Lars homestead, his heart thuds with anticipation and a hint of nervousness. When his mother Shmi appears in the doorway, the years melt away. Their embrace is long and filled with the warmth of a mother and son reunited. Over the next few hours, as Shmi makes Anakin a bowl of bantha stew, one of his old childhood favorites, Anakin shares the tales of his adventures in Japan, of demons and sword fights, and of the new family he found in the Demon Slayer Corps. Shmi listens, her eyes wide with amazement and pride. She then shares her own news, the visit from the Jedi named Qui-Gon Jinn, who had left a communicator for Anakin, hinting at another path that awaited him. Anakin contacts Qui-Gon, his voice steady, but his mind swirling with the implications of his new connection. The conversation is brief. Qui-Gon asks him to come to Coruscant to discuss a matter of great importance. A week later, Anakin stands before the towering edifice of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, clad in his Demon Slayer attire, his katana by his side. The looks that he received from passing Jedi are a mixture of curiosity and caution, but Anakin walks with the confidence of one who had faced far greater judgments. As he enters the council chambers, the gravity of the moment settles upon him. The Jedi Masters await, their expressions unreadable. Anakin's lips twitch into a small, knowing smile. This is where the fun begins, he murmurs to himself, stepping forward to meet his destiny, a bridge between worlds and a testament to the power of courage and redemption.